Hello and welcome to Alizal Ed Tech presents Getting to Know Google Classroom. Today's episode will be getting started with the question feature. We're just going to show you a few ways that you can use the question feature and how you can get started with it and get going from day one. Alright, so we're starting here on our Google homepage, and if we remember to get to our classroom, one thing we can do is just go to the waffle up here and go ahead and click on our classroom, and that's going to bring up our pages of the classes that we're currently in. And of course, once that loads, we're going to look for our classroom and click on the title when the hand shows up to get to our classroom. So here we are in our Google Classroom. Remember down here we have the plus sign, and this is where you're going to access the question feature. And so you can see right here, create a question, and I'm going to go ahead and click on that. So now I have my question feature. A few things that I want to go over. Number one, there are two types of questions, and you can see number one, short answer, and number two, multiple choice. So those are the two types of questions that you can ask. Remember, the question feature is a great way that you can get information from all of your students at once. So all I'm going to have to do is type in your question. For example, what are we going to learn today in math? This could be something that you've done a quick check-in for understanding. You've gone over the topic. So a few options that you have when you ask the question feature, just as a review. Number one, you can add instructions here if you'd like. You can also add a due date. So I can put a specific time that the question is due. If I want it due today and I want it to do by lunchtime, I can leave that in there. Or if I want it done by the end of the day, I can put 3 p.m. in there. The other thing I can do is I can add a topic. And that topic just lets me help organize it later, but I'm going to go ahead and create a topic for math, and that way I can see all of my questions around math. Okay, so far I have my question here, I have my due date and my topic. I also know it's going to be a short answer. A few other options that you have is number one, do you want students to reply to each other? And number two, can students edit their answer? I almost always leave can students edit their answer on, because a lot of times I'll point out a mistake and I'm going to want them to go back and fix what they wrote, whether it's adding a period, a capital letter, or adding some more evidence to or rationale to what they wrote. Here's where students can reply to each other, something that you might want to think about. I would suggest a lot of times you can use this question feature as far as having students discuss. They can respond to each other, and that's one of our Common Core standards, is discussing and evaluating and critiquing others' reasoning. So a lot of times I'm going to leave this on and use it as a learning tool. However, you need to fit your purpose to make sure it matches what you need. So once you've done that, then of course you can go ahead and ask your question. If you look at the drop-down menu, you do have a few options for responding, such as scheduling and saving it as a draft. You also have some other options if you want to attach something to your question, like if you want them to go to a website and read an article, or watch a YouTube video, or maybe you want to attach a document and have them review the document. However, most of the time I just simply go ahead and ask the question. So once I go ahead and hit ask, it's going to go up in my stream. Remember that students are going to have to refresh their stream for it to show up. So here you can see right now, for my question, I have 20 that are not done and 0 that are done, simply because I just asked this. I can see my topic here, it's math. When is it due? And here is my question. And again, this was an open response. So hopefully this will help get you started in how you can ask some questions. In just a second, I'll go over some examples of what you can do with your question. So here's just a few ideas on how you can use the question feature. Number one, it can be a morning check-in or an empty the cup activity right when they come in. You can use it as both a pre-assessment or an exit ticket to check for knowledge that they may have on a particular topic. You can in fact have a whole class discussion on a topic online. Of course, it's always better to have some of that discussion in person as well. If you're working on pulling evidence from an article, you can have kids cite specific evidence from the article itself, practicing with the quotation marks and some of the stylistic citation as well. You could do a class survey and figure out an opinion on a particular topic or in a particular question. You can use it for brainstorming. For example, think of all the topics, think of all the information that you can on set topic and add it here so your classmates can see it. You can have students find the best resource online on a particular topic and share their resource in the question feature. Perhaps if you want them to practice writing strong vocabulary sentences or strong sentences in general, you can have them just add it there so all the classmates can see it. These are just a few ideas of how to use the question feature. Hopefully this helps you get started. A simple goal is a question a day in Google Classroom to get started, and that can help with your implementation. Finally, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at edtech@alisal.org, and have a great day.